Hey guys, today I'm coming at you from my porch. It's nice outside. Today I want to talk about the stigma surrounding mental health and why so many of us don't talk about it and the reactions that we get when we do. Alright, we'll go inside. It's gonna be loud. But something interesting that I have found is that people whom I love and adore and who I know love and adore me don't like, comment, or share or whatever on any of my videos. And one day I turned to one of them and I was like, hey, what's up with that? And the basic gist was that, since it's public, since I share everything public, since I want as many people to hear about this as possible, a like or a comment would then have their friends or followers or whatever see. So they would see a family member of theirs, a best friend of theirs, a loved one of theirs, who's going through something like this. And it just felt wrong to them and it felt weird. And so we kind of dug into it, and it basically came down to the fact that there is such a stigma surrounding mental health. If I had cancer, if I had the flu, if I broke my leg, if I was doing 30 days about how I'm going to get back on my nutritional plan, nobody would think twice about, sharing information and commenting and all of that stuff. But for some people, there is a pause before that happens, and that's part of the reason why it's so important to me to talk about my struggles, because we should all be able to talk about it. We are, a lot of us adults, some of us children, and I don't mean that in the demeaning way. We're all in this world together and we've all got our own struggles. My struggle is no more important than anyone else's struggle. But if we don't talk about our struggles, we can't mend fences. We can't be there for each other. We can't reach out at that crisis moment. With all of these cases coming out about bullies and people killing themselves because they didn't see a way out. Well, if they had felt like they could talk to somebody, then, maybe some lives would have been saved and things would be different. And I'm not saying anyone in their family or their friend group didn't make it very clear that they did have someone to talk to. But sometimes we don't hear that the same way that it is being said to us. Sometimes when I want to talk about, what's going on with me today, if I feel the slightest bit of hesitation or eye roll or well, yeah, but I had a really stressful day, so we need to talk about mine first. Then, I shut down and I become less than. And I'm trying to get stronger because that is my own personal feeling. And what should happen in that moment is I should say, hey, I get it. You can go next. I brought it up first, so I get to tell my story. There's Deuce. He's very concerned about me. The neighbors are playing a very loud TV show. He thinks they're in the house and can't find them, and it's hilarious. The other thing about the stigma is in the workplace. So I've mentioned before that my job, who I'm not going to name because I have no idea whether or not this would reflect poorly or whatever on them, but they have been so amazing, so amazing. Even at times when I was non-communicative because I didn't know what to do or say, and I had to appoint someone else to communicate for me because it was just too much, and it was really rough. But they worked with me, and they have been so amazing, and they helped so much get the FMLA paperwork done, and and every step of the way I was told how proud they were of me for taking the steps that I needed to get better, instead of continually letting myself down by trying to come back, thinking I could do it, when the fact of the matter is I couldn't. So I got nothing but support and amazingness from them. On the flip side of that, I am in the theater. I have a theater company called Ivy Theater, and we do work that's by, for, and about underrepresented voices, which is probably why I'm so apt to talk about this issue. So I was doing 2 shows at the same time, which is something that I've done before and have handled quite well. When this mental breakdown happened, my company handled it really well with nothing but love and support and fantasticness, and don't worry, we got this, we got you. And when I came back for the final weekend of shows, it was nothing but like, oh, it's so great to see you. Let's all celebrate. We're all together again. Yay, woohoo, go team. The other show that I was working on, however, did not have that same feel. The production had kind of been plagued with lots of issues, as always happens in the theater. There were lots of recastings, lots of schedule changes, lots of everything, and I fully own my part in the fact that there were a couple of rehearsals that I missed, and that I tried to make up as best as I could. And then my final breakdown was actually 2 days before the show opened. So I was texting and making sure my stage manager knew exactly what needed to happen for the second to last rehearsal. Everything seemed fine. She's a rock star. I knew she could handle it. We've worked together before, and I got feedback from some of the actors that everything went great. And then the really most unfortunate part that is really terrible is that it meant I had to miss tech. But again, I was, they were sending me pictures, and there was a back and forth, and I was telling them to bring everybody down, and, yada, yada, yada. I was in the mix as much as I could be. And so then when I was coming to the show, I bought all the tickets for my parents. I didn't even ask for a comp, because the way that my brain works is that even though it was something that was out of my control, I still feel incredibly responsible. So I decided to do my part, pay full price for the tickets, and all I wanted to do was come and celebrate, and then hopefully continue to come to the show for their final week, and be a part of the team again. And I was told in no uncertain terms that I would be coming as a patron and not as a director. So a couple of things that happened there. Number one, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary to make me feel othered and less than before I'm coming to see a show that I directed, and a cast that I put together, and this team spirit that I think we all had, even through struggle. And the other part was that my contribution to the production I was just cut off at the knees, and it was the hardest thing that I did by still going, and my family was very awesome, and they were like, we don't have to go. It's, whatever you can handle right now. And I said, no, I want to go. I want to support the women that I brought into this project. I believe in the project. I know the work is good. I just am on the outs with the production team. So it was a very awkward night, and it was very difficult, but I got through it. And I was talking with my producing partner in my company, and she was just incensed. She was like, would they have done that if you had gotten into a car accident? Would they have done that if you had broken your leg? Would they have done that if, myriad of other things had happened? And the answer is probably no. It would have been stressful. It always is. When there's a last minute horribleness, it's stressful. But the beauty of theater is you come together and you get it done as a team. And there's a pinch hitter, someone comes in, someone steps up, someone, helps to fix it. And it's happened in almost every one of my shows. And while I might be, frustrated and stressed in the moment, I have never blamed it on that person. But that's probably because of the issues that I have. So I am more empathetic, and I understand that sometimes, even though the show must go on, the show does not trump your physical and mental well-being. So those are the three interactions that I've had professionally with what's going on with me. And the other thing about putting all this out there is that future employers are going to see this. Other theater companies are going to see this, and they might not hire me. I may no longer be hireable because I'm putting this out into the world. But it's more important to me to make other people feel like their voices can be heard, and like we can have a conversation, and we can make mental health something that's at the forefront, something that's treated just as seriously as every other disease, because it is serious and it's real. And the more we talk about it, the more we find out about it, the more tricks we find, the more, hey, when I get really anxious, I have to put my back against a wall so that I only have to protect, 3 sides of me instead of 4. Well, that might help somebody. So if you have anxiety or depression or PTSD, don't be afraid to share. You're not always going to get the response that you want, but if you want to start with just sharing with me, I'm here. I am here for you. I've got your back, and anything I say will come from nothing but love. So we all need to get help in the ways that we can, and we need to surround ourselves with people who not only understand what you're going through, because my producing partner doesn't. She doesn't have anxiety. She's the most vivacious, extroverted, beautiful soul in the world. But but she listens, and she takes me at my word, and she has since started to change the way that she interacts with me. So instead of, hey, what do you want to do? She says, hey, do you want to hang out? I'll find us something to do, because logistics are difficult for me right now. And so she's maneuvering in this really amazing way, and it's just really beautiful to me. And also, all of you who have reached out and who have said that you are there for me and that you're supporting me, it's amazing. And I encourage you to share any of these videos that you think might help anyone in your life. You can give them my contact information. I'm doing this for all of us. That sounds very self-important, but that's not how I mean it. I'm doing this to really break open a barrier, and I hope that I get through to at least one person. I hope that one person has been watching these and either says, man, that's what's going on with my partner, my friend, my coworker, my whomever. Now I know, and I can, be a support system for them. And then also, if it's you, if you're the one that is struggling and you're white knuckling it through, and you're, just trying to keep your head above water, I know what that is, and it's hard, and you shouldn't do it alone. And we might be strangers, but I will grab your hand. I will help you swim to shore. I will do whatever I can to help you understand that you're not alone, and that my problems and your problems might be different, but we can get through it together. So let's get through this together, everybody. I love you.